connection there, because Enoch, I mean, if we go further back in history and we trace the Ophidian current, you can look between the cultures of Egypt, and you read the Book of Enoch, which is not really part of the Torah, but it's you can find it in the Dead Sea Scrolls, so it is very old, and it's sort of accepted as like a Gnostic text as well. But Enoch was said to be the great grandfather of Noah, but the story goes that Enoch, he's kind of a figure like Hermes Trismegistus, you know. Hermes thrice great, meaning he's a god, he's a demigod, he's a man. He can travel between worlds. This archetype of Hermes or Mercury travels between worlds. He can be in the world of matter, or he can be in the world of spirit. That's why he's our patron god in alchemy. But Enoch was a bit like him, because if I rewind the clock a bit, and I hope you don't mind me going into more stories and myths, but
definitely not.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock even further, and we go into the antediluvian stories, right? We go into before the flood. The stories go that, you've got this overarching energies, let's say, of the Watchers, or these gods. Some people say they were aliens. You know, you could also say they were archetypes. They were energies within us. So it's this idea that gods come down to Earth, and humanity is like stupid, for lack of a better word. You know, they're kind of kicking around in the dust, shaking sticks at the sky, and these gods basically they send down, let's call them archangels, and the story goes that they exchanged actually for sexual favors with women the secrets of alchemy, you know, and the secrets of agriculture and all these sorts of things, and they kickstarted civilization. Now the offspring of these demigods and people were the Nephilim. So there were these giants that roamed the earth, and they were a bit troublesome. They would kind of cause havoc. And Enoch, coming back to what we were saying earlier, Enoch was the guy who was like a go-between between the gods and humanity. So he'd travel between the above and the below. And the story goes that one day the gods gave him a message to give to humanity, which was that, it's something, I'm paraphrasing and I'm probably screwing it up a bit, but, you were in heaven and you had the true mysteries, but in the coldness of your hearts, you gave these mysteries to humanity, and now men and women wreak much evil on the world with them. So it's the idea that these sacred teachings were given to humanity to kickstart civilization, but we're sort of still in that world a little bit. You know, we've got all this technology and all these tools and all of this knowledge, and yet, you know, we can't seem to get our act together in an ethical sense, I suppose. So Enoch gave that message to humanity, and then, of course, the punishment for all of the wickedness was supposedly the Great Flood, which you'll find analogues for in lots of cultures. You'll find stories of the Great Flood. You'll find it in, you'll find it in Egypt. You'll find it in, Judaic stories. You get it in lots of indigenous cultures too, in Mexican culture, in Australian culture.
Sumerian tablets.
Sumerian, yeah, yep.